Shucks.
Ready to go?
Good evening and welcome to the Poets Cafe, the art of conversation. It is where artists comes alive. The spoken word brings forth the inner creations of hidden treasures, expressing tones of lyrics felt within the soul, the vibration that brings stories untold. This platform represents artists of all backgrounds through various forms of expressions, including writers, singers, spoken word artists, and those engaging in artistic expression through painting, literature, poetry, and the journey through life. Mystery seeks to bring new ideas and opportunities to the mind at all levels. Wherefore my time leaving tomorrow on the wings of yesterday, where birds fly higher than the mystery of dreams never knew. Why do mellow sounds ring silently without ever leaving memories of my lonely blues? We walk by the calls of nature, sing in harmony, pray for the love of the skies, and dance with the stars like a feminine ballerina gazing across the stage in her soft-toed ballerina shoes. Welcome to the Artists of Poetry Cafe show, Poetically Speaking, hosted by Terry Benjamin and Ron C. McCray. As delighted as we are, we can't wait to embark on a new wave of presenting this platform to our audience. So sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let's get started.
Let's get started. This is a very, very, very special program. As a matter of fact, it's our last program before the new year. And really, it's really part of our journey because we started this on January the 5th, which was a Sunday. And now we're here on December the 28th, another Sunday, the last program before the new year. And so, welcome. This afternoon, our engineer is Trish. But, Ron, I got to get our VIPs into the VIP lounge, okay? This is something that we started a little while ago, but been very popular because a lot of people have signed up to be in the VIP lounge. So we got to put you in the VIP lounge. And so here we go. In the VIP lounge this afternoon is Sylvia Carter, Yvonne Tomlinson, Mark Roberts, Sharon Jones Casey, Marquette Johnson, Mary McDonald Swindell, Chanel Gilmore, Geraldine Wilson, Dina Robinson, Jane Small, Joanne Blount, Carmen Floyd Burchell, J. Scotty Dashiell, Harry Morris, Barbara Davis, Linton Robinson, Vera Bonzi, Lasanja Field, Deborah Johnson LeGrand, Isu Canty, James Holloway, Elliot Hale, Elder Leroy Shoulders Jr., Deborah Dowser, Daniel Manson, Titus Pastor, Monica Sane, Pat Hughes, Laura Flashberg, and Katrina Madison. So those are the people in our VIP lounge. These are people who have, a lot of us have been with us from day one, and we appreciate that because it seems like the time just sort of flew by. But here we are. So today's agenda is Black to the Future. And what I mean by that, we're going to be focusing on the seven principles. Right from the beginning, our program was really based on the principles of Kwanzaa. And this is a Black holiday, a Black celebration of ourselves, and it's from December the 26th to January the 1st, okay? And so what I want to do, I want to just throw out these principles so you know what they are and understand as we go through this program, go through this show, it's always about these principles. These are things that we stand on, and we bring everything that we have from these principles. So I just want to go into it. And what I want to do, I want to put these principles, these seven principles, in the context of a week, okay? So what you want to do in the new year, this is not a resolution, but something to think about. Maybe in the new year, maybe you could at least focus on one of these principles every day. And this is what I mean. For example, Monday could be unity, which is umoja. Tuesday could be self-determination, which is kugi changalia. Wednesday could be ujima, collective work and responsibility. Thursday could be cooperative economics, ujama. Friday could be purpose, nia. Saturday could be creativity, koumba. And Sunday can be faith, imani. And that's something to think about, because faith, when I think of faith, I think about church, going to church and that kind of thing, you know. But again, Kwanzaa really is a cultural celebration, actually created by Maulana Ron Karanga in 1996. And this is a quote from, excuse me, Dr. Karanga. He says that we are American by habit and black by choice. Okay, American by habit, black by choice. So we choose to be black. We choose to build on our blackness. We choose to cover ourselves in this blackness. We choose to follow these principles. And I want to go to the quote of the day. And this is from Denzel Washington, who was an actor, director, and producer. And Mr. Washington says, dreams without goals are just dreams. And ultimately, they fuel disappointment. On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency. Because without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. And so we started this whole project in January, and now we're in December. And the only reason that we're here standing black and proud and tall is because we have been consistent. And one of the things that has helped us be consistent was your participation. You're subscribing to the channel. You're subscribing to this program. You're telling other people about this program. And that has increased our viewership. And that has really increased for me. I don't know about you, Ron, but it also is inspired me. And one of the things that I want to understand this program, the last program before we take a break and come back to you in 2026, but we're going to end it on a very high note, a very positive note. And so before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's go with the program that we have for you today. And as always, at this time, we bring to you a very important segment of our program. And we call it Ron's Poetry for a reason, because we have Ron C. McCray here, and he's doing, and we're enjoying Ron's poetry. So what do you got for us today, Ron?
You know, it's interesting. I have something here. Actually, I put this together, I think it was either last night or this morning.
Oh, wow.
And I'd like to share before I get into it to tell you the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing worse than a word that is often used on a regular basis, consciously and unconsciously, almost to the point where it's just so distorted, it leaves confusion no matter how you look at it, you know. And so let me say this, the reason why I put this together. I happened to go to a jewelry store, right, a couple days ago because I wanted a watch fix in remembrance of my brother.
Yes, yes.
And so after I went in there and looked at the guy, spoke with him, looked at it, he said, well, you know, sorry, nothing I can do. It can't be fixed. So naturally, I'm saying to myself, I'm in a jewelry store, and as we know, watches was made in somebody's jewelry place or basement or whatever, but watches are made and created. So when the gentleman says it can't be fixed, right away, and I'm be honest with you, and see, that threw me slightly for a loop, but no surprise, because it only told me and showcased to me that, see, there's prejudice. You see, they want to help. Why? Because I'm black or because I look? Why? I don't know. I don't have a clue. It's just a speculation that's out in the air. But nevertheless, it was a fact. He said, I can't help you. It can't be fixed. So as I'm on my way home, I thought about this word, right? And when you think about it, it's almost a regular word that's always used. So I want to read this to you that I put together, and I want you to think about every time you use this word or somebody use it, at least get a clarity or understanding why. Because my point is here. When you use this word, you're really taking ownership of any error, mistake, or negligence or something. You are responsible. But the bottom line is people use it, but they don't want to take responsibility. And so this is what I put together. And so if I make any mistake, I'm sorry about it. All right? So don't
This is new now. This is just right off the press.
All right? So the title of this is Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, a word too often used out of context just because it shifts the responsibilities for accountability. Sorry. The question remains active in the minds of those who want to please or insult without being identified as guilty, as the word is spelled in a coded message. Sorry. What defines the word and why is it so widely used without any conscious thought about how and why one uses it? What purpose does the word serve when correcting a wrong to right or right to a wrong? Sorry, by definition, is qualified as a replacement to justify not wanting to be bothered or to take ownership of making good on helping someone in need. Even if the word sorry is used in the proper form, one will still often not feel dismayed about reaching out for help. Like a child seeking comfort after being lost and needing help with problem solving. Sorry for being wrong. Sorry for not doing what was expected. Sorry I hurt your feelings. Sorry that happened to you. Sorry we can't get along. Sorry for the reasons unknown. Sorry, 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 sorry. What in the hell are so many sorries for, and how does one perform their part in the missing pieces of a new Broadway drama titled Sorry, on the Wrong Road sign? What about the hit lyric written by T.B. from the new podcast stage production, where the audience was sorry for coming, listening, and staying too late for this sorry-ass moment that made me sad for listening to this nonsense? It just destroyed my neutral brain cells, causing my whole body to fall into a state of severe pain. Sorry? Are you sorry? For what? When? Why? And how? What is the name you couldn't remember? Sorry, I forgot it. Sorry, it came too soon for any intelligence to regain a conscious sense of being ignorant and stupid at the wrong time. Where do we go from here? Up, down, east, or west, south towards the water's edge, or scream for so much deliverance to nowhere? Sorry, as a charted path leads to the end of a dumb question that caused a malfunction of repeated dialogue and a monologue of confusion. Sorry for not understanding. What was it you were saying? Sorry, the word originated in West Germanic in medieval England. And so here, again, sorry.
Sorry.
Everybody's sorry. Sorry, can't help you. Sorry, didn't mean it. Sorry you feel that way. But you're looking for assistance and help only to be insulted by when somebody says sorry. There's nothing worse than being insulted by a word that's so used out of context and nobody takes ownership of it. Everybody, I guarantee you that everybody at the sound of our voice used the word or heard the word or constantly confronted with the word. Sorry. Sorry. What does it mean? Well, I'm here begging, like I said, a child. I'm crying. Can you help me? Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
Sorry.
But they say, come to customer service. Say, go to the hospital, go to the doctor, go to the lawyer, go to somebody, only for somebody to tell you, I'm sorry, can't help you. Yeah. So where does that leave you? Well, I'm sorry, don't know what to tell you.
Sorry is a sorry word. Sorry.
You know, it's really sad because, like I said, it really becomes insulting. It's no sense of, let's just say, helping you or directing you to somebody or somewhere that might be able to help you. But if nothing else, if you choose not to, don't want to, cannot, take away the word, this disperse it from out of your mouth. Find another word. I apologize. Let me see if I can help you.
Yes.
But sorry, who was it in the, was it the purple?
The color purple?
Was the color purple when they was on the rooftop or waiting to exhale? I think
Maybe
it was waiting to exhale.
Yeah.
And Felicia about to say, sorry. So anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
Here's another one I put together. This one baffled my brain. I don't know why and how it came. But nevertheless, and we talk about writing poetry or singing or whatever the case would be. When something hit you, you write it down and you build on it.
That's right.
It may not sound like anything to somebody else, but the bottom line is once you finish it, you'll start to see some sense of it means something to somebody about some way.
That's right.
No matter how you look at it. So this one is titled Washington. And I'm quite sure many of you may kind of pick up on it.
Yeah,
Washington.
Yes.
For the love of money.
Ooh.
On a cold winter night, while traveling through the forest, a howling voice clings like a sharp hatchet, slicing through the air as each footstep leaves no trace of silence. For the love of money, memories ring loud as a painstaking claws grip like a snow cat on its prey. Revenge is the heart of suffering for the lost without forgiveness. They say two wrongs don't make a right. My wrong is the right to bear without forgiveness. In the heart of a cold winter night, as the deep silence holds a scarf tightly wrapped around the neck, seeking to keep the heat hostage from escaping. The widespread of dialogue grows louder as the anger spreads across the thin layers of the feverish system, trying to regain some sense of stability. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Before
word again.
Before reaching the final destination. As they say, the love of money is the root of all evil. But it leads to suicide, greed, murder, and even the sacrifice of walking away from the pain just to forgive and save my soul from a lifetime of damnation. Forgiveness is the cloak of time, dressed in many colors, that deceives one into believing the love of money will comfort you for a lifetime without any worries. Loneliness leads the mind into a dark place, stripping away the grace and mercy it once sought. But now the sheriff of faith has brought me from the hiding place of my own anger. For the love of money is the root of all evil. One allows the image of falsehood to create the illusion that it will save you from despair rather than believing in the hope of things unseen. Walking across the whip's shadow, snow, leaving only footsteps with no trace to turn back. The journey forward is the reward of freedom. Washington, for the love of money, what will one do in exchange to reap the benefit just for the taste of it and lose one's soul?
Wow. Money.
And so I just want to do, those are right now what I have. And again, I don't know, but the whole thing is, doesn't matter how it got here. You know, it popped up, Washington, you know, and it could have been related to the dollar. You know, George Washington, could have been anything,
it could
D.C.
Be. It could be.
You know, but the bottom line, you give it a name, or a name pops up, and you build on that. And so here, there's a little twist. And for some apparent reason, it seemed like when I started, it seemed like I was starting to write a novel, you know. But naturally, I'm not into all of that. But you'd be surprised how things start out and how things may end up.
That's right.
You know, that will actually put you on a path to where you're going or where you come from and what you're writing or singing about or whatever the case may be. So all this is important. So again, that came to mind, I think it was this morning, and I put that together. But it was a reason for it. To explain it, well, it's not for me to be able to explain it to you for clarity. It's for you to understand or get some sense of what was the message and how do you apply it.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thought, Because again, we're talking about sorry and that word. We talk about other things as well. And one of the things that I want to sort of pivot into is that one of the things we started really as a result of this program, because when I thought about putting the program together, I didn't have any idea about music is lit, but we sort of got on the idea, just like on Art of Conversation, that wasn't with us in the beginning, it just developed. But music is lit has become very important to me and some of the people who listen, they like it as well. Now this is a very, very important music is lit, because it's based on one of my favorite soul singers, and really based on one of my favorite books. This book right here, this is Truly Blessed by Teddy Pendergrass with Patricia Romanowski. And I read many, 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 many books, but this is one of my favorite books. This is a book I can sit down and read from beginning to end, because I can relate to so much of the story of Teddy Pendergrass. I think one reason I can relate is that Teddy was born in 1950, the same year that I was born, and he passed, some years ago. But his life, he's definitely one of my contemporaries, and I followed him through his tenure with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes into his solo career. But I want to take you to 3 songs that really tell a story about Teddy Pendergrass. And the first song is a very popular song, is what he recorded when he was with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. And because he began singing a lot of the leads in these particular songs, a lot of people thought that Teddy Pendergrass was Harold Melvin. But they got that straightened out and led to some confusion and some animosity, some jealousy. And one of the reasons that Teddy went out on his own. But while he was with Harold Melvin and the Blue Note, he actually recorded this song, Wake Up Everybody. And one of the things that I want everybody to know, that these songs, although they're sung by Teddy Pendergrass, were written by Kenneth Gamble and Leon Huff, who were the producers and songwriters and founders of Philadelphia International Records, where Teddy actually recorded. And so this is Wake Up Everybody. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war, and poverty. Wake up all the teachers. Time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say, because they're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. So when you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. The world won't get no better. We got to change it, yeah, just you and me. Wake up all the doctors. Make the old people well, because they're the ones who suffer and catch all the hell. But they don't have so very long before their judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away? Wake up all the builders. Time to build a new land. I know we can do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our minds. Surely things will work out. They do it every time. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. The world won't get no better. We got to change it, yeah, just you and me. And that was Wake Up Everybody when Teddy was with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. And then he began his solo career, and this is where things become very ironic, because this song that I'm about to actually recite as a poem was from an album entitled This One's For You. And on this particular recording was this song called This Gift of Life. And understand that the accident happened in 1982. As a matter of fact, reading from the book just briefly here, just to put this in proper context here, and this is from page 215, and it says here, chapter 7, often I wonder as I sit alone, is anything in life guaranteed? This is a a quote from Teddy, and it says here, the chapter says, "Happy birthday to you. Am I dreaming? Who's singing? It sounds like someone singing opera. Happy birthday to you. I struggled to open my eyes. White. Everyone's wearing white. And looking at me, it's a doctor walking toward me, and I'm in a room somewhere where I can't move. Happy birthday, dear Teddy. Happy birthday to you." It was March 26, 1982. What I wonder later, what I will later come to think of as the first day of my new life. This is my first clear memory since the night of the accident. It felt hazy and unreal, like a dream, but I suddenly realized that everything was real. My otolaryngologist, Dr. Robert Santeloff, was singing happy birthday to me. The 8 days between the accident and my birthday passed in a dark, painful blur. I was in a state of unconsciousness or delusion. This is also excruciatingly painful to be a dream, but I had no idea where I was, who was in the room with me, what time of day it was, or sometimes even who I was. People near me can recall speaking to me, and they recall my indicating that I understood what they were saying. But those moments elude me. I don't think I'd wish to remember them even if I could. I believe there's a reason why my brain simply shut down and refused to process what was happening to me. There's a reason those days passed the way they did, but I didn't feel that I need to know it mentally or emotionally. I really can't go back there. And again, it talks about the fact that since that day until the end of his life, he was paralyzed from the neck down, although he continued his singing career. But this was before the accident. And this was when Teddy was age 32. And this is from the album titled This One's For You, recorded in 1982, before the accident. And it reads, "This gift of life. This gift of life, oh, I treasured it above everything. This gift of life, I'm so thankful. Lord, I know I'm thankful to be living. It's the only thing you can't buy with money. It's the only thing that you can't buy. And it's such a pleasure to be born. This gift of life, oh, I really love this feeling, this gift of life. Every day it keeps on revealing all the wonderful, the marvelous, and the glorious things of all. I'm so thankful that I'm alive with this gift of life. Said I'm truly blessed. Yes, I am. With this gift of life. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's so wonderful. And I want to thank you for giving me the privilege just to live so that I can give all that I can. And I'm so thankful to be able to make this long, long journey. Oh, Lord, I appreciate all the little things that you do because I like the sunshine. I like the rain, and I like the snow, and I just like to hear the wind blow. I like everything on this earth, this gift of life. And this is when Teddy was 32, just before the accident, but he continued to record, and so after the accident, he made more records and more albums, but it's really ironic to me, this song was actually recorded after the accident, but he was still recording, he was still living his life to the best that he could. And this song is very powerful in the context of the Teddy Pendergrass story. And it's entitled, Life is a Song Worth Singing. Life is a song worth singing. Why don't you sing it? Life is a song worth singing. Why don't you sing it? You hold the key in the palm of your hands. Use it. Don't blame your life on the master plan. Change it. Only you generate the power to decide what to do with your life. You're a fool if you think you're helpless. You control what you do with your life. Life is a song worth singing. Why don't you sing it? Life is a song worth singing. Why don't you sing it? Don't like the way you're living? Too bad. Can't change your life cause it's out of your hand? So sad. So you just sit on your pants and holler because the world ain't been treating you right? Don't you know you can't contain the power to control destiny with your mind? You control what you do with your life. You're a fool if you think you're helpless. Can't change your life because it's out of your hands? So sad. No, you got the power. Use it. Use it. You got to control destiny with your mind right here, right now. You decide what to do with your life. Well. Life is a song worth singing. And again, this is from Teddy Pendergrass after the accident, and he went on to record many albums after that. And so, Ron, it really, I won't say makes me mad because it doesn't make me mad, but it makes me sad that many of us have all our faculties. You know, we can walk, we can talk, we can listen, we can sing, we can laugh, we can jump, we can party, whatever we want to do, and we don't seem to use our life to the fullest. And so again, I don't make New Year's resolutions, and I'm not even asking you to make a New Year's resolution. But what I'm asking you to do is really think in terms of how you can make 2026 even better than 2025. I want you to take your life and really put it to a whole nother level. You know, when we come back here and in the new year and we start another year, another season of Poetically Speaking, we're going to try some new things. We're going to develop some new things, some new ways of presentation, because we do believe that because of your inspiration, because of your viewership, you have inspired us to make Poetically Speaking 2025 and going to 2026 even better. And so at this time, we really have a special part of the program. We're going to in our Food for Thought segment, we're going to actually put Mr. Ron McCray in our spotlight, you know. We're going to have him give us a concert. So, Ron, you want to move into your position? And we're going to have something very, very special for you. And again, and as we set this up, I just want you to understand that, you know, we are here because of you. We're here because you have inspired us to present to you special things, special programs, special ideas that we're going to develop. And one of the things that we started to do in our program, we have the segment Food for Thought. And many times in the Food for Thought segment, we will present different poets. But it seemed to me that it's good to present new poets and whatnot. And I'm not presenting an old poet, but I'm presenting a poet that has been part of this program. But I wanted him to really stretch out. I wanted him to really just have a time where he could just read what he wanted to read and talk about what he wanted to talk about. And so I'm calling this segment Food for Thought, but I'm also calling it Serenity on the Shores, presenting Ronald C. McCray. Yeah.
Hello.
Let me get some applause in here. Yeah.
So what do we have? What would you like to hear? You know, let me just start out this way. First of all, Ron McCray, co-host here on Poetically Speaking, on the BKS1 radio TV show. And as you heard and as you listened to, we've been on now going in close to a year, you know, and it's truly been a blessing no matter how you look at it. We try to fulfill every moment and opportunity that we have to fulfill something, to come with you something new. And one of the things I believe in is the fact that what may sound or seem something old is always something new, because it all depends on how you look at it from a different perspective. Nothing stays the change, but it's always a reminder of what took place. Now, that may sound a little somewhat confused, but it's not. Think about what's being expressed. Think about the things we share with you, we present to you. Music is lit. I was talking to someone the other day, a friend of mine who walked in the park. Even she herself says she never paid attention to the lyrics.
Right.
She always listened to the music. And that's where so many get caught up and just listen to the music and bop and this and that and the other. But when you listen to the lyrics, it really brings you to a place of serenity, happiness, sadness, mad, whatever. Artists write books centered around, painters write their work centered around that. And as my brother just indicated, that Teddy Pendergrass, and you know, the life song is a life worth living. It's what you see, what you think, and no matter how you present it, is something there for you. Everyone has something inside of them. And one of the biggest things is the emotional state of self. Mental, physical, spiritual. Because somebody's thinking and feeling, going through something. But what we try to do here is to bring a flavor of happiness, joy, something inspiring, something motivating, you know. And so for me, you know, as I write pieces, it's something that hit you, something that hits me. And I try to build on something centered around that because it does play a part. It's a piece to the puzzle. The puzzle is the big picture. The big picture is life, what you see, feel, and think. And as I, you know, read to you earlier in reference to, you know, the word sorry, you know, how often people get caught up in sorry. But change the word, change the narrative, change the way you think, and you change the whole perspective of who you are, and you bring to life someone else. Because that's what it's all about, lifting someone else up better than yourself. So I always inspire myself, you know, based on, even if I have a conversation, I listen to something, and I usually take something that maybe the average may not be thinking about and build on that because it plays a part, and that's what's important. I also want to read this, if I may, to go back to, as the brother was mentioning, with Denzel Washington, dreams. You know, we talk about that. Everyone has a dream. Unfortunately, too many are asleep on their own dreams. You see, they don't see the vision. And I always use this because God said to Abraham, as far as your eyes can see, all this belongs to you. But you can't see if you sleep. And if you sleep, you're not thinking. And if you're not thinking, you're not dreaming. And there's something come to you, wake up in a delusional state, talking about where am I at. But outside it, I'm not here to crucify, to criticize, or whatever the case may be. But again, it's to try to help each one of us because I'm still learning. You know, I'm still trying to be creative. And so I'm not perfect. I'm not on the world stage of society, but I'm on the world stage of what God has created and has given me to be in the spotlight, to be able to express, to showcase, you know, who I am. And again, all of us are still developing and learning who we are. Sure. And so I'd like to start with this one, read this one. This one is titled, A Dream Denied. A dream is denied when someone fails to fulfill their desire. Where there is no vision, my people perish. Proverbs 29:18, or Hosea 4:6. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. Do you think? How do you think? And what do you think about? Thinking is the foundation of the brain. Do you think? As far as the eyes can see, this serves as a metaphor for what one believes is possible and is determined to achieve their goals. It involves turning a fleeting thought or dream into reality. If one sees fit, by deciding that life has value and pursuing passion that resonate deep within the soul. Nothing is denied unless one fails to act on a thought. Then it becomes a corpse. Unfortunately, unfulfilled, only a lazy mind to see the great opportunity that awakens each of us. Wisdom and knowledge are the homes of dreams. Think and grow rich. Rise and move forward on a feeling. Go where freedom lies. Where the boundaries of limitless, as far as your eyes can see, are you looking? God said, as far as your eyes can see, journey towards it and don't look back. Tomorrow is not a promise. Yesterday is gone. Now is the time to act and create one of the heart's desire. What are you craving? What is it that you so yearn for? And what is it or has held you back except self? What excuse did you come up with for the brakes locking up, causing you to slide off into a ravine, stranded with no one to call for help? Where is the survival instinct? Has it kicked in, or has laziness just become your relative's family reunion where complacency and I wouldn't do it and I wouldn't do that syndrome thrive? Life is a one-way journey. Hop on the ride, the waves of fulfillment. Bring it to life as if you are experiencing Disneyland roller coaster for the first or 100th time. Fear resides in walking on thin layers of uncertainties, but faith is the key to reaching the other side. With joy, excitement, laughter, and no regrets awaits those who act on faith. If you genuinely believe, so get up, move with such a groove, shout hallelujah, and you might think you are lost. You've lost your mind. Just smile in the face of jealousy. And that's what's so important. You know, all this is centered around you, each and every person. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. It doesn't matter your situation or your condition. The fact is, as long as you are sitting here listening to us on any station or reading any book, you are breathing. As long as you are breathing, it makes a difference. Don't sleep on your dreams. We have a lot of guests comes and a lot of artists talks about their, books and their backgrounds and poetry. No matter how you look at it, but they are fulfilling what their desires that still lies within them. They get up, move, walk, talk, share, no matter how you look at it. And as I read earlier, it's not all about money. You see, money is not money, and let me say this in short. Money is the root of all evil, the love of money. The love of money. When you love something, you crave it and you desire it. But the unfortunate piece about this is that you crave it and desire something that can't help you. Rather than desire and crave life and life who gave it to you and have the fulfillment of it and fulfill what life is to you. That's what's important. You know, as I shared before, this plays a foundational piece in all of us, okay? Those who go to church, the synagogue, and the mosque, no matter how you look at it, those who sit in the corner, in the park, walk the bench, exercise, or whatever. Serenity on the shore. Because all of us may have that moment where you may feel melancholy. It doesn't mean that you done lost your mind or something happened, but we all have that melancholy, emotional state of feeling. Life in itself. You see, this is winter, and everything seems to be dead, but it's not. It just hibernated in the season, resting until the next day comes, no matter how you look at it. But how many of us all around go into hibernation year-round and sit there and woe is me, or look at somebody else? But it's not about that. It's about fulfilling and bringing to life you. Life is a song worth living for. What is your song? Now, it doesn't mean that you out on Broadway stage or in the spotlight. Everyone, I say this all the time, everyone can sing. Now, you may not be that singer that the world may like, but guess what? I remember listening to American Idol one time, and you see people get up there, they're in the spotlight. I don't care if they yodel. And Simon always reject them, whatnot, boo, hoo, hoo. But guess what? They made it to the spotlight of millions of people all around. It doesn't matter how they sound or how they look. They was bold enough to step out there on their desire to see and be somebody, regardless. But how many of y'all are sitting back in the closet with the lights out Electricity then burned out because you didn't pay the bill, because you didn't call on the ones who in control of the electricity. So you're sitting in the dark. Even when the lights come on, the sun never shine. I mean, the sun always shine, never went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But all the thing you can see, so many, not all you see is clouds.
Mm-hmm.
But those clouds is only there because you create them.
That's right.
But when you bring joy to yourself, and you will show that smile on your face, that everybody else around you that's crying and screaming, complaining, they say, why are you so happy? Because you will say, because I got joy in my heart. This one, Serenity on the Shore, as I indicated before, but nevertheless, something I put together when I was in school and I had to do a paper. But here's how you are inspired by things you cannot begin to imagine or when they may pop up. And so when I started writing around this, I gave it a title, but I think the title came after, I don't know what the original topic was, but I know we had to write something. And so let me read this. Serenity on the Shore. On the shore of time where life and beauty finds peace and the rugged roads of everyday toils brings to bear, and before our very eyes we are destined to see life change. Like butterflies transforming from a sheltering cocoon to bright colors of freedom and illusion. There is serenity on the shores overlooking the glittering top of the water edge, at the horizon where the sun and moon equally balanced moves into their respective places. Our minds transcends into the arms of paradise, and nature strips us down barefooted as if we were still in the Garden of Eden. And life's clustering sounds cause our souls to find serenity as the mist subdued moves and time stands still. That sweet, savory melody that finds joy on the path of righteousness, where the soles of our feet falls deeply into the sand, and fine pebbles made of stone capture the callous that brings stress to our final resting place, where a Savior, tall, strong, and true, tall, strong, and true, stands on the shores, awaits that whoever desires to seek him, embraces his presence, will find solace. He fills our souls with life young, tender, and sweet, from the foundation of the well to the throne of peace. I feel the soft, tender moments as the birds of the air changes colors of love and joy, a time to keep and none to spare. When the stress of life becomes too much to bear, and the burden of time seems to swoop down on my soul, I caress the earth into a slumber sleep and pray my Savior's hands to hold. Unlike an underground man whose world was sombered and distorted, believe he had a condition that haunted him, refused to be treated, and his mind was falling deeper into a bewildered state. His bewilderness induced into a keeper's gate. He began to scream inwardly, crying out for help, dithering in a vasculating state. But his hope rises higher, finding that place of serenity. His condition was only a figment of his imagination. The fragmented pieces of everyday toil took an oath to immerse his mind into a non-existing state. This inward cluster of rotating conversation sends a spiral change into the mind of false hope, like a volcano shifting in Earth's crust, and formulated all kinds of ailments in his body. We become what we think and feel. It's an introduction to an hourglass, where time has no time, but only a brief moment to reflect on the essence of a soft sample of silky fabric laced around your collar and quiet as the sounds of time. Your soul travels over the rugged terrain, seeking to shade the rough edges of the blistering sounds that ruffles your nerves, only to remind you from whence you came, like a pearl clipped from an illustrated picture that hangs from the base of your college when you attempt to resolve the painstaking course it took to stay alive. Sitting and waiting until time releases your hands from the troubling edge of suicide. Heaven is here, here as beautiful as the day is strong, my roots planted along the edge of the waterside. Wisdom stimulates one's heart, raising the temperature to a climax, causing an explosion when the voice of tranquility gives a tune that has no rhyme, but only notes. I can hear the voice of the air as it tiptoes across the tentacles, describing its whereabouts without reasons, and the landscape welcomes me home each time I seek serenity on the shore. On the shore, like a small stream of water in a nearby park, where I find peace. Harmony in my spirit moves freely as a surface above the earth. I can feel myself hovering over the ripples of the waterways as the fouls of the air gracefully moves about soft-spoken surface and harmony sings aloud. Budding flowers, leaves, and trees are filled with optimum and opulent joy, where the cares of trouble exist no more. Life is good when you find serenity on the shores. On the shores, we capture the essence of time as the moon sets behind the horizon and the clouds carefully steps aside while the stars take their prospective places. A place where only a few are chosen to undress the chaos as one crosses over the threshold into a world far beyond the imagination of your dream. As hope stares us in the eyes, while walking along the path, journeying into the future of today, into the moment of now, while the mind of a child within runs for freedom, while escaping from the bondage that was once the pinnacle of stress, anxiety, and depression, where a moment of laughter that cried without a sound, as the sadness of tears rolls down the face, leaving only a trace of yesterday. On the shore, where time and space reaches into the galaxy, calling one's spirit to a place where no man has gone but hopes to experience. Experience the inner dynamics of true life that once was held in the power of dreams, dreams that were never deferred, but shattered by the noise of gossip. However, the song of praise, hymn of dancing, will glorify the rebirth of the heart, where there is no more crying, but feel the eternal springs flowing endlessly, as it brings fresh herbs of joy into the realm of agape love. At bedtime, we answer to the quiet winds, making their way so perilously like a gazelle stepping high across the plains, as each bounce forcefully holds the buoyancy that mimics peace and dangers on the shores of serenity. On the shores where the waves of the hourglass slowly vasculate from side to side, leaving no trace that harbors pain, but healing as it washes away the memories of the past. On the shores, gazing into the ocular of space, listening to the sounds of our mind, slowly faded into a sleep, like the gentleness of a baby resting in the arms of its mother. On a pillow of comfort, surrounded by safety and serenity and security, freedom is introduced without boundaries, and freedom holds no harsh, bittersweet. Taste the sweet, savory of pure, succulent juice, and the flavors are indescribably, yet very flavorful to share with our soul. On the shores, quiet winds blow, dancing elegantly and gracefully across the white caps as the winds blow, permeating in the opulence of the richness of their sounds, without the melanin dew, misunderstanding of its purpose, where serenity presents freedom. Freedom tells our souls they are encapsulated in the quiet winds, merged in time, and on the shores of serenity, our spirit impels forward on the wings of angels as they sound the trumpet of love, peace, and joy. Serenity is the essence of time at the moment when our mind blossoms in space, rendering music never heard before. On the shore, we find quiet winds. On the shore, we find quiet winds of serenity, where eyes dim not to be unseen. Yet, truth spells out a higher power resourcefully to hand down words of wisdom without the vascular, holistic salvation. It is a home where the fruit of the Spirit stands to engrave the power of the universe. Opportunity is far beyond the imagination to what is found on the shores, deep in the quiet winds, where distributary matters finds its way from the life of chaos, and love takes us home, holding hand in hand. On the shore, where the breeze of the inevitable detects the unavoidable, like a beaver defecating to build a dam in the wild, and the spirit of your soul is navigated by the GPS deep in the sky's core. If you follow the details in the landscape, you'll find serenity on the shores, on the shores, on the shores.
Brother, that was powerful. That was powerful, and our VIP, all our VIPs, you're all are really important to us. And that was from Ron's first book, a book entitled "We See Colors: The Organic Flavors of Life," and these are poems by Ron C. McCray. Also, he has another book out called "The Archaeological Cafe," where poetry comes alive, unearthing hidden treasures deep within you. And it's so funny, as we go through this program, time seems to fly. So we're now down to about 5 minutes left. And I just want to say, as always, we're going to have Ron take us out. But I just want to say that, brother, this has been a journey, you know, from January the 5th to now. And I couldn't have done it without you. I could not have done it without you. I was just going to say that and put it out there. And I couldn't have done it without you. Those who have been with us from day one, those who sort of caught up as we went through the program. And one thing I want to leave you with, two things. Number one, there was a book some time ago written by Malcolm Gladwell called The Outliers. And he said that if you wanted to master a subject, that you should put in 10,000 hours. And Ron, I'm sure we put in more than 10,000 hours on this program. And I think we put more than 10,000 hours in on our hosting and our producing and that kind of thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we put in the time. We put in the time to be masters of this, but we don't want to get too complacent or too self-assured. And because, I don't know about you, Ron, but every time that I come on air, whether it be Thursday or whether it be Sunday, I got this in my spirit, this quickening, you know, because I want it to be good. I want us to give all that we can, and we've done that, and we do that for you, but we do that for ourselves because again, it's about branding. So whenever you hear something coming from Poetically Speaking, whenever you hear something coming from Terry Benjamin or Ronald C. McCray, just realize that it's the best that we can give you at this particular time. We're going to get better. So in 2026, we're going to give you more of the good stuff. And so I just want to say happy holiday to you and happy new year. And I will definitely see you in 2026. Ron, we got about 5 minutes to get out of here. but I know you can do it. So my brother, it's on you.
One of the most important things, a couple of things I like to say, because again, it's about a collaboration. It's about how the Spirit moves and connect people with one another. And as I always said, and we talk about, we never know exactly what we're going to put together or how some of the pieces I write or the music is lit, but it ties all in. Even the pieces I have read, and even from Serenity, all ties into dreams or fulfillment or life in itself. And those who may not be aware or don't know, but those who are aware, God said, and the word is written that whatever door he opens, no man can shut. And whatever door he shut, no man can open. Your door of opportunity, those who follow Jesus, the Quran, or the Moses, or whoever, it doesn't matter, whoever you follow. I don't care if you follow your pastor. If he's delivering you a word of opportunity, you have to take heed to it and walk through it. Because again, once that door is shut, it doesn't come back looking for you to bring back remembrance of what you didn't think about or you forgot. There's no such thing. You move on to the next, because as you continue to journey forward, then something in the past will come back as remembrance. We're not on a dead zone or dead end street. We have the mind to remember what was, but we're not supposed to live in the past. Yes, we was on a journey this year. We started out with whatever we had. We planted the seed. And so we continued on that. We put together things unexpectedly. We didn't collaborate. We didn't try to organize. Everything was straight up real and raw, no matter how you look at it. We came out the gate this way. And we're going to continue to move into the next opportunity, as the brother said, across that threshold. It's a new year. This year is almost ended. And in essence, it's not about remembering what took place and what you didn't do. It's what you didn't do, you have the opportunity to move forward. And also with this, tomorrow's not promised. Yes, it is gone. So what are you doing in this moment that you have listened to us, because we are ready talking about and dealing, but we're not moving on the promise that tomorrow's going to come. Because unfortunately, somebody didn't wake up, and it has nothing to do with age. So many, young, middle, and old, didn't see tomorrow. And we all have personal stories. So again, the door of opportunity awaits you, no matter how you look at it. Whatever that, forget the so-called New Year's resolution. Make your resolution now, what you didn't do yesterday, do it now, and continue to move forward. So with that, it's always and truly a pleasure, and I thank my brother for allowing me this opportunity to sit in the guest seat, and to present to you, from my perspective, from our perspective, our story. Because again, God willing, and bless each and every person at the sound of our voice to see you next year.